Hi, I'm Roy Furr with Breakthrough Marketing Secrets, and for today's Video Friday issue, I'm going to do another one big idea video with you. And that is, I'm sharing one big idea that I took away from an important and influential book and how that applies to you as a marketer, copywriter, seller, business builder, and so on. And for today's one big idea video, I want to talk to you about the book No B.S. Sales Success in the New Economy by Dan Kennedy. Now, I've actually had two versions of this book. I had No B.S. Sales Success, and then when he put out in the New Economy, I bought that copy too. And actually, here I am standing here with my latest copy of this book. And this book is full of a lot of very good basic selling wisdom. Very good in the trenches. I know how to sell because I have done it a lot, wisdom. And Dan, coming from a selling background, selling in person, selling from the stage, selling through media and through copywriting, selling high-end stuff to clients, selling lower-end products as well. Dan has a lot of experience in selling. And so if you do any selling, whether in person or through media, this is an important book to read. But I want to highlight again the one big idea that I feel is most valuable, especially for my Breakthrough Marketing Secrets audience, out of this book. And Dan puts this chapter in its own section, in its own part 5, My Biggest Secret to Exceptional Results in Selling. Takeaway selling. And it's chapter 21, The Awesome Power of Takeaway Selling. And Dan says, in this chapter of the book, I reveal the secret that I have relied on most heavily in the last 20 years, make that 30 and more, during which my personal earnings skyrocketed, along with my prominence in the fields in which I work. And that's takeaway selling. So what is takeaway selling? The big idea of takeaway selling is that you stop pushing on the prospect and actually you pull back. You stop being desperate to close the sale and you actually start disqualifying the prospect, telling the prospect the reasons why they're not qualified to do business with you, setting up barriers to them actually making the purchase. And this is critically important in especially a high-end selling situation or a selling situation such as with copywriting, consulting, providing any service. If you know that you only want to work with the Okay, let me back up for a minute and provide a contrast. If I'm just selling some basic product that goes off the store shelves in Walmart or some retail store, I want to sell as much of that as possible. And in fact, if I'm selling products in almost any capacity to a mass market, I just want to sell as much as possible. But as soon as you get into something like selling your expertise, there are big advantages to actually putting up barriers to the sale. And especially if you're selling your time, you want every hour of your time, every minute of your time to be valued at the highest level possible. And the way that you do that is by actually selling to the best possible prospects and making your prospects, making your potential clients and customers explain to you why they are qualified to do business with you. And make them qualify themselves to actually become your client, to actually give you money. Now, there are a lot of techniques and tactical level implementations of this that you can get by reading through the book, that you can get by studying takeaway selling. But the posture is by far the most important, most critical, most underlying fundamental aspect of this, the principle that, hey, as a salesperson, I actually have less power if I feel to the prospect like I am desperate to get the sale, like I'm just trying to push and close the sale, close the sale, close the sale, close the sale. I retain maximum power in that situation, especially when it comes to setting my own prices, the fees that clients are going to have to pay for my services, by in essence pulling back and saying, hey, we may not be qualified to work together. You may not be qualified to do business with me. I have to look at opportunity costs. I may have to turn you away. This may not be the best situation for me. And So I want to figure out if that's the case, whether or not that is the case, before I choose to do business with you, before I choose to take your money. And when you do that, you gain a whole different level of respect in the mind of your prospects. And if you are curious about actual results of this, I learned about takeaway selling quite a long time ago when I was starting out as a freelance copywriter. And a lot of things have changed in my business. A lot of things have changed in my ability to deliver my services and my consistency with clients. But this establishing myself as a valued service provider where the supply of my time is lower than the demand, and thus having to eliminate different prospects from qualification for my services, it has allowed me to increase my fee. When I launched my freelance business in 2010, my fee was $2,000 for a project plus royalties. And I largely do the same work, the same amount of work to complete a project today. And today my fee is $20,000 plus royalties. And so my project fee just to show up and do the work has grown to 10 times what it was, because I have focused on how I can make my supply-demand situation work out in my favor to support those higher fees, to disqualify prospects who are not qualified. And because I'm working with more qualified prospects, I'm actually able to provide better value to those prospects. And it all goes back to the idea of, hey, as a salesperson, I don't just have to sell you on the transaction. In selling my products and services, I don't just have to sell you on the transaction. You actually have to sell yourself on being qualified. Now, there are all sorts of different applications that you can do with this. And in fact, I have had at various times pieces of copy in sales letters that I've written that have said, you are not a fit for this if, and then insert a number of qualifying factors as to the type of people that are not a fit. And when you do that in copy, when you do that in a more mass selling message, what you are essentially doing is you are telling the prospect that, hey, I understand who is going to get the most value out of this. And unless you meet these criteria, I don't want you to buy. And then for those prospects that do meet the criteria, it's actually reinforcing to them to see that list, to see the list of things that say, you don't qualify if, you don't qualify, you don't qualify if. And for them to say, oh, well, that's not me, I qualify. Well, that's not me, I qualify. Well, that's not me, I qualify. Well, if they are in their mind saying, I qualify for this, I qualify for this, I qualify for this, and they are essentially starting to sell themselves on why they qualify to purchase from you, you are in a very good place in terms of selling. So that, again, is takeaway selling. I hope this has been a valuable explanation of takeaway selling that you can start to use in your selling situation, selling in person, selling through media. And if you want more, I encourage you to check out the book. I'll make sure to include a link with this video. And here's the book again, No B.S. Sales Success in the New Economy by Dan S. Kennedy. Again, I'll include a link with the video, but that's the book if you want to pick it up in a local bookstore or something like that. Again, my name is Roy Furr. This is your Video Friday issue of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. If you're not yet subscribed to Breakthrough Marketing Secrets, go to breakthroughmarketingsecrets.com. Monday through Thursday, I put out a daily essay on marketing, copywriting, direct response, selling, business building, and more. And on Friday, I do these Video Friday issues. Recently, I've been doing these One Big Idea videos where I talk about takeaways from books that have been influential to me. So again, that's at breakthroughmarketingsecrets.com. Also check for the link with this video. Again, thank you for joining me for another Video Friday, and I look forward to seeing you again in your next Video Friday issue.